We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are.
Hey everybody, welcome once again to yet another episode of Two Noobs Talking. It is episode 86. I have John Tracy with me back from Waco, Texas. I've got Steve Murray with me in an undisclosed location somewhere in the bowels of Pennsylvania. And I am, of course, Matt Craig. Happy you are with us. Steve, how you doing? How's the underground bunker going?
The bowels are stinky.
But you still got the ketchup on the sauce, right?
Still got the ketchup on the meat.
There you go.
Everybody's all, Top Gun this weekend.
Heck yeah.
I hated Top Gun, so I'm gonna throw out there a hidden '80s gem, just because it was on IFC earlier today.
Go for
The
it.
Running Man with Arnie
go.
and Family Feud's Richard Dawson with the impressive turn as the heel in the movie.
Look at that.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Now, question on that. Did you hate the song Danger Zone or did you just hate Top Gun?
Both.
Okay. I just want to check because I like the song Danger Zone, but I think Tom Cruise is a douchebag.
Yeah.
So I don't watch much of his movies.
Top Gun to me was a movie that was centered around having a bunch of people shirtless playing volleyball on the beach.
Yeah.
It sounds about right. Yeah.
Or in an airplane
Totally.
going pew pew. But I got John Wick for that, so I don't even need Tom Cruise.
Exactly. John, what's going on, man? How was deep in the bowels of Texas? What's going on?
Yeah, it was
there,
hot.
man? Yeah. Hot cell.
I'm back home.
There you go. You're happy in the air.
Yeah, happy to be home. Always.
Yeah. So, guys, of course, who wore the episode number in the city of Philadelphia? There's a pretty good sized list, but not many good
I say
players.
Zach Ertz.
It's kind of interesting. Zach Ertz, of course, being the top of the list. Yeah, Super Bowl champion, delivered us a championship, diving across the plane for the touchdown, even though it was somehow being, it was under replay.
Reviewed.
Patriot fans may disagree with us.
Yes, it was reviewed.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Reviewed, and it was a touchdown because he leapt across the goal line. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, dive.
He was a runner.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was debated.
Then we also have Joel Farabee. Yeah, we have Joel Farabee, Steve, of the Philadelphia Flyers. Rare,
Good young player.
good young player. Yeah, on the rise. Yeah, could be a 25-goal scorer. I would love.
And
to
that's
see.
immediately when Steve says good player, watch him.
Exactly.
He's normally right.
Yeah. He's like one of the best young talents. One of the ones. They finally picked up in the draft. We also have Arkansas Fred.
Arkansas
Fred Barnett. Yeah.
Love Arkansas Fred Barnett.
I think probably one of the more underrated receivers in Eagles history, guys. What do you both think of
He
him?
was. I mean, he was. Calvin Williams was on the other side.
Yep,
We'll get to him in '89.
that's right.
But I think Calvin was the better wide receiver, but Arkansas was the long threat. That's where he got the nickname from.
Well, he caught a 90-yard touchdown against Buffalo.
Yeah.
He's
That
not.
was
I don't
probably
think.
one of the best plays. Yeah.
I don't consider him underrated because I think most Eagle fans who
Everybody
have
knows
been
Arkansas.
alive
Yeah.
in the time would know his name.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I'll never forget that play. Seeing Cunningham dive under, basically, Bruce Smith kind of just flew right over the top of Randall. And Randall just ducked.
Because he was practicing the Matrix back then.
Yeah, exactly. Ran around to the other side. Oh, saw Fred, tossed it very long, and then Barnett leaps up, makes the catch, and runs into the end zone.
Off
One of the
his
best plays
back
ever.
foot, it meant nothing.
I think I ran that exact same play on Tecmo Super Bowl. Unfortunately, it was performed by QB Eagles.
Yes. I think that was the only play I used to run with the Eagles. You would just run back and pew! And
So
catch.
So much for those NIL rights, right? Those
Yes.
NIL rights, yeah. And then the lower part of the tier of the guys who wore 86 for the city of Philly, we had Antonio Freeman, guys, for 1 year.
Yep.
Wore 86.
Totally forgot he was here.
Yeah, he was here for 1 year.
At least they gave him the right number.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly. There was also Brian Finneran, who probably played better as a Falcon
He's a Falcon. He's not an Eagle.
than he did as an Eagle.
Matt, just let Matt ride the Brian Finneran train.
This has always been a thorn
Villanova
in my
product.
behind because Andy was better at finding other people's talent than he was finding his own. A lot of Andy guys that he brought into camp, and he was like, I really like this guy. I'm really on this guy. He ended up cutting, and they became superstars somewhere else.
Of course.
I wouldn't consider Brian Finneran a superstar.
No,
He was
he
on the
He was
field.
probably the greatest thing Atlanta had.
I
for
had
a
in a
while.
long time outside of Julio. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, before Julio, that was it. I
Yeah.
can't think of another wide receiver for Atlanta.
Roddy
was-
White?
Similar.
Yeah, they were kind of one.
I kind of put Roddy White and Finneran in the same category.
Yeah, they're kind of one and the same. Then, John's boy, Reggie
Love
Brown.
Roddy White.
Yeah. Well, he
Big
also had
fan,
Reggie Brown.
actually.
Reggie Brown for like maybe 5 years
He
of
sucked.
trash football. And then my boy, Greg the Trash Man Garrity. We're going to throw his picture up there. The guys were like,
Me and
"Who
Steve
was
do
he?"
not
And it
know
was
this
like,
man
Don't worry about him. He was a
existed.
Penn State guy. Don't worry about him. He was great back in the day. He was your typical Nate Brown, catch the ball, fall down, get a first down. That was pretty much Greg Garrity. Whenever you needed a catch, he could get it for you, but that was pretty much it.
Well, what was with the nickname, the Trash Man?
It's a great question. I have no idea why they gave him that nickname.
Was it like his off-season job? Was
Might
it
have been.
Yeah, maybe.
municipal worker?
Municipal worker, and then he comes in and plays in the NFL. Why not? Why not?
He was working
Good
for
job.
Vince McMahon for a while. They were doing gimmicks back then, so he could totally walk in with a trash can.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy versus the Trash Man.
They'd book that for WrestleMania, second match. Easy.
Exactly. The Trash Man, Greg Garrity. That kind of deal. That'd be fun. All right, guys. Well, here we go. Topic one. And why don't we go into a little bit of Ron DeSantis since we led off with him last week? We'll lead off with him again this week.
He's
He's having a little bit of
Right.
fun, right, John?
making waves.
Yeah, and probably in the wrong direction. An appeals court finds Florida social media law unconstitutional.
Yep.
So this law, and I remember this from a few months ago, this law was passed by the Florida Senate, signed by the governor, was intended to punish social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, for basically quote unquote canceling conservative voices or, fact checking only conservatives, but not fact checking liberal, all that kind of stuff. Well, the Florida law that was meant to basically squash that became, when it went through Atlanta Circuit Court of Appeals, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, they find it was under violation of the U.S. Constitution under the First Amendment. So it's a
Shocker!
Yeah, what a shock, right? Steve, what are your thoughts on this really quickly?
Well, duh.
Duh, right?
Everything this guy does, it seems, is a total shit show of trampling First Amendment rights, and here he's at it again.
Yep.
Although it came before everything we talked about last week, so I guess he's at it again now. But
Is that it again?
yeah, he's at it again. But this time it's finally made it to court, and the court. Facebook and Twitter are not government entities,
No.
and they have a First Amendment right to speech. And if you don't like what they're doing, make your own platform like Trump did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You
simple.
can't-
I'm all for picking on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't have a problem with, but he's not going to
Facebook
win in
jailer right here, over there.
He's
Yeah.
not going to win in court. He's really not. Like, I'm all for it. Like, if he wants to sit on his podium with free speech the same way and shit all over social media, I'm all for it. I'll laugh with him. I have no problems with it. But he's not going to win in court. He's not going to win in court. It's just
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah, go ahead, Johnny.
litigate butt hurt.
Yeah.
Steve, am I right?
The Depp Heard trial might disagree with you, but
We're not going to get into that.
From a government perspective, yes.
Yes.
If he wants to trash them in the media, fine, but you can't make laws like this. It's just you can't do it.
It's not going to work.
Very interesting here. I like to read the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
Oh, please do.
There's been so many problems with this. First,
I hope Mr. DeSantis is listening as you read this.
I'm gonna just clear my voice here. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of all the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Pretty straightforward, wouldn't you say, guys? I mean, that is straightforward. That Congress cannot pass a law. This basically just tells Congress you cannot do this. You can't establish a form of religion. You can't establish a law that prohibits people from their right to vote. Well, really, from their right to speak, to peaceably assemble, to petition the government. They, basically Congress has, at that point, the First Amendment, that's that guarantee. That's what makes this country wonderful, is that right there.
But it's also what makes it confusing, because the left and the right want different rules. Well, and they can't. So we're just going to have to come into the middle here and follow the same friggin' rules.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, not sorry.
The one I heard that was funny was, and you can throw this both ways. First Amendment rights for me, but not for thee.
Exactly.
No, First Amendment rights are all well and good as long as you agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
Once you disagree with me, you lose those rights.
You lose those rights.
And that's both sides of.
Oh yeah.
That. And that's why I have no problem with anybody that wants to, left or right, wants to stand on a soapbox and bitch and moan and talk about that. Some social media is bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
It probably shouldn't even exist.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
exactly.
It can exist because somebody wants to use it, and they want to. But like, should Trump have a platform? Probably not. He should probably have the same platform everybody else has. He probably shouldn't have his own platform.
Yeah.
But guess what? Douchebag can have his own platform.
Yeah, and he can have so many followers that people want to follow him. That's great.
Exactly. He can have it.
Yeah, I choose not to do that because I don't want to be,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to stop governing their butthurtness. And this is left and right.
Yes.
Just stop doing that, and then maybe we could just come together a little bit closer as a country and figure that shit out.
Exactly. That might be a good idea.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, John, I've decided you're going to be my VP running mate in 2024.
Nice.
And our slogan can be, you can't govern butt hurtingness.
Nice.
Whatever it was you just said.
Nice. You can't
legislate.
We can't legislate butthurt.
Butthurtness.
All right,
there you go.
You can't legislate
That's
butt
our campaign slogan.
I love it. Put that on a placard. I love that.
I'm in.
I love this.
I am not a turd.
There you go. Exactly.
I'll get a new hat.
Okay.
Might as well. Guys, this is interesting. Like, I have a Constitution app. It's interesting. You can download those for free on your phone, by the way.
Yeah, they're fun.
But it's
you can
great.
also take classes if you would like.
Yeah, exactly.
For free. Like, people actually teach you the Constitution for free.
It's for free. It's amazing. And in this app, it says this: the government may not limit freedom of speech, meaning people may say almost anything. The limit being the famous opinion of Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes when he gave the example that no one could falsify cry, "Fire!" in a crowded movie theater. Thus, you may not say anything that brings immediate danger to people.
The right loves that one, by the way.
Mhm.
Loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it.
So, yeah, this is really just... for a guy who is trying to, like, pander to the right or to the center right.
I don't even know if he's trying to.
I wouldn't call it the center right. That's not
No.
who he's pandering to.
I think he's pandering only to the Trump base, which is big. And I can't fault him for that. That's a big base. If
I
you
don't,
admit
I
that,
don't,
you're
I
wrong.
don't disagree.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, John, but this is a bumbling attempt.
well, he's not good. He's not good. He's not a good public speaker. He's not a good politician.
Yeah, and well, and that's
He
the thing.
really isn't. Like, I understand. Like, I know more people that have left Florida than moved to Florida.
Mm,
That's a small, and we're talking like 11 people,
yeah,
but formerly left, but moved 2. So maybe it was 3 or whatever. I don't know.
yeah.
But they all say the same thing. He's not endearing to. He's endearing to the press. He loves to argue with the press. He's a big supporter is Dan Bongino of him.
Okay.
So you're
That's
talking
great.
far right.
Yeah.
Far right
Mhm.
likes him. He's very over talking. He's
I mean,
very
Yeah, I think this attempt here, though, if you're going to position yourself as a constitutionalist, or that you love you love the Constitution, come on.
That's what I mean. That's what I
If
mean.
you look
It's
at
all
the bill and it says it's going to violate, it's going to
Yeah.
shut people down because you disagree with their opinion, that might be a problem. That might be a problem for you to sign. But he signed it. So it's like, well, then what are you doing?
because he's all about clickbait.
Yeah.
And that was my point. He's very brash. He's very, he did that whole thing with the kid with the mask. Oh, you can wear them if you want to, but take them off. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to play identity politics
Mhm.
in a time where I don't think people want to play identity politics anymore.
I would hope not. Yeah. Go ahead, Steve. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to reiterate that it's what I said earlier, which is, I'm a constitutionalist. I defend the Constitution, unless you disagree with me, and then I strip your First Amendment rights because they don't matter. So, if you want to censor far right people on Twitter, yeah, you're out. If you're gonna not support my bill, the don't say gay bill. If you're going to be against that, then I'm going to take away your special privileges legislatively. If you want to protest outside people's homes, no, you can't do that anymore. But the Constitution says, to hell with the Constitution. Oh, I support the Constitution. I'm sorry.
I heart the Constitution. That kind of deal. It's kind of weird. It's just like, I think he would need to kind of clean that up a little bit.
He's like, you remember, you ever see The Nightmare Before Christmas? Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Remember the mayor whose face would like rotate?
Yep.
Like that. That's DeSantis. It's like, I support the Constitution. First Amendment right goes to hell.
Just crazy. Just absolutely crazy. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see like what the Republican Party will do as they try and go up against Biden. I mean, granted, I think they're the odds-on favorite. You could put anybody in there. I think Biden's got his own set of issues.
We'll have to see.
Well, we'll have to see. Yeah, how that'll.
There is nobody at this point in 2022. At this point, and I want this on record. There is nobody that is going to be president in 2024 that is popularized right now.
Yeah.
Something has it. Like we need to get through November 2022, and then that will probably where we'll get our horses in the race.
Yeah.
But there's nobody now. They're all falling all over themselves. You're not going to hold this for 2 years.
Yeah.
I certainly hope you're right, because none of the choices at the moment, if you were to line them up 2024, I can't. I don't like any of them.
Yeah, they're ugly. They are very ugly.
Yeah.
But you notice one crazy Rand Paul kind of stepped away. Smart man.
There you go.
I like that dude. I like him because he's smart. He knows when to be smart. He knows when to be a dick. He stepped away from this clown show.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's important. That's really important to position.
You need to get away. Right. This clown show is nobody that is popularized right now. I don't think they have a shot.
Yeah, exactly. All right, gentlemen, here we go with topic number 2. And yeah, it's space news. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't watched Two Noobs Talk in a while, we love space. All 3 of us do. And this one is a very interesting article from 6abc.com. NASA says something strange is happening with our universe. Observations showed other galaxies are moving away from the Milky Way galaxy at a faster clip. They've been
Did we
studying.
start broadcasting Biden speeches?
I don't know.
To get you to move.
I thought it would be the COVID virus, to be perfectly honest with you, Johnny. I mean,
I'm
that was
just saying, like,
Ding!
you loudspeak that motherfucker, dude. I can see galaxies moving away.
I love it. Scientists have been studying new data from the Hubble Space Telescope. They say the expansion rate has become much quicker compared to the expectations. So this is from a Nobel laureate, Adam Rees, of the Space Telescope Science Institute.
That sounds expensive, also.
Yeah, exactly. Quote, "You are getting the most precise measure of the expansion rate for the universe from the gold standard of telescopes and cosmic mile markers," end quote. And but they cannot. Scientists have no idea why this is happening. So let's put on our tinfoil hats, gentlemen. What is the cause? What do you think is the root cause?
I'm just gonna go
of
to
the galaxies moving farther apart. We heard one already from
Yes.
John.
I'm going to Steve because when I put this article out through a text message, he was like, "I could talk for days on this." So Steve, please just talk for days. This is please, whatever you got, just unload on people.
There you go.
All right. Well, I for your guys' benefit, so you understand what this is about.
Mhm.
We're gonna go all the way back to the Big Bang,
Thank God.
There you go. Yeah,
right? And there was a big one.
that's right.
And it was a bang.
So the current theory is the universe started as an infinitesimally small thing. The Big Bang occurred, and from thence space expanded into the universe as we know it. The prevailing theory for a long time was that the future of the universe was destined to end in what they call a big crunch. The thought process was the gravity among all the matter in the universe would eventually pull everything back together, right? Because gravity is attractive, and bring it all back and crunch it all up again. Then it was discovered later on, through measurements and such, that galaxies were actually moving away from us and from one another. And the farther away they were, the faster they were moving away. So this led to two new theories about how the universe would end. One was called the Big Freeze, where everything just moves so far away, and then when the last stars die out, that's like it.
Yeah.
There's, nothing's close enough anymore to regroup and form new stars, so we just go into the cold, dark abyss.
Oh boy.
The other thought process was a little scarier, which was as space continues to expand and expand and expand, it starts expanding on smaller and smaller scales. So like our atoms eventually would just get ripped apart as things expand. Which
So
is
that would be
not
instead of the Big Freeze, that'd be the Big Ripper. Yeah, that kind
the
of
Big Rip. That's what
Yeah,
they call it, the
exactly,
Big Rip.
Yeah, there you go.
Doesn't sound like too much fun. I think I'd rather go for the Big Freeze, but
I would totally agree.
I don't think we'll be around for either.
Being cold, I'd rather be torn apart from.
So the article is they've discovered, and it's interesting how they do this. They measure how fast galaxies are moving away from us by what's called the Doppler shift. So light should seem a certain color, but because it's how do we get this mixed up? I think because it's redder, that means it's moving away from us at speed.
Makes sense.
And there's a certain type of supernova that has the same brightness no matter the size of the star or whatever. So they use that. They know what that's supposed to be. They use that to measure where things are. And the data shows apparently the things are moving faster away from us than we thought they were.
Wow.
Now, as it turns out, I think it's only like a difference of, I don't remember what the units were, but it was like 68 to 73.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
yeah, it's
we're talking COVID inflation numbers. I don't think it's as big a deal, but
Well, dumbing it down for someone that doesn't understand space, it's literally just use those two numbers as cars moving on a highway. One moving at 73, one moving 68. They're pretty close to one another.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's as big a change as was thought. I mean, it's certainly surprising, but it's not huge. Now the cause, we have no clue.
Yeah.
The theory is there's called the dark energy, which accounts for the majority of energy in the universe, but we don't know what it is or why it's there. But it's repulsive as opposed to attractive. So unlike gravity, dark energy pushes things away. Now it makes up something like 70% of the universe's energy. Regular matter, like this crap, that's only 5%. And then the other 25% is dark matter, but dark matter is gravitationally attractive. So the dark energy is what's pushing everything out, but we have no idea what causes that or why that is.
I was just trying to think, like, what was the name of that Leela's pet in Futurama that would always produce dark matter for the Nibbler. Yeah. Nibbler would produce dark matter for the for the spaceship to go home and stuff like that. So it was always great to have them. It's always like dark matter just came to my mind, but yeah, Nibbler. But yeah, my God, I mean, it's just, I don't know, gents. It's interesting to see, like, because I was just looking up. They have like what they call milepost markers, and it's like they're just keeps drifting further and further away. It's interesting to see.
Now, it's not everything.
Yeah.
In about 4 billion years, the Andromeda galaxy is actually going to collide with the Milky Way. So,
might be a bit of a problem.
But overall, things are generally moving away from us.
So my question then, if we're going to continue with these like hockey games and stuff like that, what happens? Like, if we have a galaxy that's going to come in and collide, it's not necessarily like, are we going to stop everything? Do we have to just wait for the galaxies to intersect and then who knows?
I wouldn't.
Incredibly dangerous, obviously.
The time scale. Well, yeah, it's not going to be good for Earth. That's plain. The distances we're talking about, you're not going to have like stars running into each other. It's not that close. But stars are going to be thrown out of whack, and everything's going to get reorganized, and the two supermassive black holes at the centers are probably going to swirl around each other and eventually merge, and everything's going to trade places. But for Earth, it won't. It'll be a fantastic light show.
Oh, I bet.
But it will take place on a scale of millions of years. So I wouldn't worry about it. We're not going to be here at that point.
Moral of the story: stop listening to douchebags that are telling you to do stuff and just live your life.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it was one of the more fascinating articles I think we've read, guys, really, this week. And the fact that you would never think about something like that, of a galaxy moving further away from our own, or are we doing that? Who knows? I mean, that's another thing. Maybe we're moving further away.
I love the fact that they started putting money back into NASA because we're starting to learn shit again. That disappeared for a while, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Tell me stuff. I need scientists, monitoring shit. I like that stuff. Makes me feel safe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Fusion is all the rage, and a new raw sushi and PB&J collaboration is leveraging just that. Tasty Mollusk and Kids Lunch, both brands owned by Chompies Inc., are launching a limited-time entree called Sushi et PBJ. It's 1 part raw fish and another part toddler sandwich, joined together by a layer of wasabi and another bonus layer of melty cheese. Kids Lunch brand manager Joe Blivis said, "The brand has been exploring innovative partnerships and couldn't resist the opportunity to collaborate with our friends at Tasty Mollusk on a meal that's part raw flesh, part old reliable, and extremely digestible." If you are enticed by this ad, act now. Supplies are limited. The first 100 are free, but some shipping handling charges may apply. Order today. Oh,
Sample, huh? You took the sample. We told you not to take the
I
sample.
didn't take the sample. I vomited just from the description. Oh,
jeez.
Well,
And
you're not gonna
just
like
before
this.
I was going to give him a glowing review, you I mean, my God, that was terrible. So that's going to have to be another sponsor, John.
No,
This is
done. The problem is we didn't tell Steve about the third topic. He might be doing this more.
oh joy.
Yeah, exactly. Because this one is not made up. Third topic, we got, well, this third topic is kind of interesting because it's two really weird stories,
Yes.
both off the wall. This first one, John, I'm going to go to you with this one, but
Okay.
I'm just going to read the headline and then
Yes.
you're going to have your reaction. Oreo and Ritz have teamed up and are giving away free cracker cookie sandwiches. Probably because nobody in their right mind would buy something that gross.
True.
That's not to be. Exactly. That's exactly right.
Tastes like chicken.
It basically is a combination of a Ritz cracker with a peanut butter filling.
Yes,
on one
throw it
side.
up. Throw it up on the screen. Throw it
Put
up
it
on
up
the
there.
screen so people can see this bullshit.
And then it got the Oreo with the vanilla cream on the other, and they have mashed it up. Yes, to answer anyone who has a question as to whether or not they are the same company or part of the same company, they are. John, what is your reaction to this absolute monstrosity of a snack?
So after you sent this, I went to 3 people in my life other than you guys because you both said it was nasty. So
Yeah.
you guys will complete the 5. Right? You didn't like it. Steve didn't like it. So I
Right.
went to an outside source of 3 people. I sent the picture and text to 3 people, and I got back. One was ew.
Okay.
That was just done.
There.
The second one was, what the fuck is that? That was- and the other one was like, if you make me try to eat that, I'll hurt you. That was.
0 for 5.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
It didn't work out well. It did not work out well at all.
I don't understand this. I mean, it's interesting because
It's disgusting. That's why you don't.
It's
No.
totally disgusting.
You
why
like
would you
food.
do this?
You like food
Why?
that tastes good.
Oh
And it
my
was-
gosh.
It was bad enough when I thought they were just taking the standard Ritz cracker
Mhm.
and attaching it to an Oreo. But then you read me the article and said that it's not just a Ritz cracker, it's also peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
So you're putting the
vanilla
Ritz
filling?
cracker and peanut butter next to an Oreo filling and an Oreo cookie.
So peanut butter and cream have to get together, and then
Yeah.
you need cookie and. My first response to this, I said to you guys was the TikTok thing. Like,
Yep.
it's going to be bought up, the shipping handling, the $3.99 or whatever it
Yeah,
was,
$3.95 shipping
bought
fee.
up by 25 of the million, the guys that have the million, right?
Yep.
And they're all going to do the taste test, and that's probably why they did this.
No
This-
question.
Nobody wants this.
Nobody. It's interesting here. This is from part of CNN. The two brands are definitely owned or launched by a limited time snack called Oreo X Ritz. One part cracker, another part cookie, as I mentioned. If that mashup sounds delicious, act quick. The company is giving out for free starting Thursday at noon on a special website. Supplies are limited. Note,
Free.
however, that you will have to pay a $3.95 shipping fee.
So you basically pay the same amount you would if you bought them in a store.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
If you just went to but they know it's bullshit, so they're not even gonna take the $1 million cost to fucking ship this thing out.
Alexis Yap. No, I'm not making up that name. Alexis
Oh,
Yap.
that's an alias. That's an alias.
That's got to be an alias. Ritz
that's an
senior
alias.
brand manager, of course, had to
Also have her
read
world
from
champ.
had to read from the placard, had to read from the 3x5 card. Said in a release that the brand, quote, has been exploring innovative partnerships over the last few years. Couldn't resist the opportunity to collaborate with our friends at Oreo on a snack that's part salty cracker, part chocolate cookie, and entirely delicious.
Why do I feel like I've heard that before?
Because you have.
Oh my
This
gosh.
is exactly what happens when you fucking watch too much of the Food Network. This is exactly what happens. Sweet and savory is a beautiful concept when it's left up to people that have culinary degrees, not fucking cookie companies.
Yeah.
To be fair though, and maybe it's just me, I would rather eat like an Oreo cookie instead of some fancy dessert at 5-star, $100 a plate restaurant.
And that's totally fine
Mm-hmm.
because an Oreo cookie is good.
Oh yeah.
But don't
What are you doing trying to
insult me by just adding two products together and being like, oh, you like sweet and savory because Guy Fieri said so? Here, we'll sell you this bullshit. That's what you're doing.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because that's a line my parents often used to try to get me to try something. It's like, well, you like this and you like that. So why wouldn't you like them together?
It's parent 101. I've pulled that bullshit a million times. Trying to get them to eat something different.
Well, I like ice cream, but I also like ground beef. So why wouldn't I like my ground beef stirred up in my ice cream?
Well, so Kroger will probably try to sell this to you and fucking...
Who knows? Who knows?
If this thing takes off, we're screwed at that point.
Basically this was the board, I guess, or whoever, sitting around at Oreo going, what new product can we come up with? Oh, Ritz is right next door. We could just
That's all it was. It was innovation because they're trying to, they don't want their practices looked at. They don't want cancel culture to come to them. They're like, we'll just put a cookie out and they'll just hate that and we'll be fine.
No, you know what this reminds me of? It's the person who you ask them a question and they look around the room and find the answer. Mm-hmm. That it's like, oh well, what's your name? Rocky. Right? This is all right. So what are we gonna do to the Oreo to make it to do something different? And they look out the window at the Ritz factory like, Ritz.
The Peter
we'll put them together.
The Peter Griffin. And a Griffin flies.
That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
He's probably employed there.
He probably is. He's probably head of marketing.
Well, I mean, the brand specials I talked about, I mean, that was just, I don't know what, wow. It was bad. I think that's got to rank right up there as probably one of the worst snack inventions ever made. Easily. It's got to.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
Really. I'm not going to get that, especially, I would love to know how many you would get when you would order. That's the one thing.
That's the joke. You get one for $3.95.
I'm going to look.
I'm telling you, it's going to be the TikTok chip thing, the one chip challenge. It's just going to be the one bullshit challenge.
Well,
or whatever it is.
Well, since those people, for some god unknown reason, tend to get way more views on TikTok than we do, I volunteer Matt to order and taste one for a TikTok video.
Awesome.
All right.
And then maybe we'll get 1 million views.
Yes, I'll record it.
Here we go. So it says pay $3.95, shipping and handling only, open to contiguous U.S. DC only, void in Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico. Damn it.
What the? Why are they racist?
I don't know. Just put it in there. And void starts 5/26, ends 7/5, or when all 1,000 packs are claimed, whichever comes first.
All right. Well, in a pack of Oreos, you'd get like 2. And in a pack of Ritz crackers, you get 6. So,
and by the way,
it's 6 times 2 is no.
By the way, the website, it's sold out. So there's 1,000 packs of this monstrosity.
I told you.
Into the marketplace.
I told you.
I guarantee you it was one person. It was one person.
It had to have been.
It was Elon Musk.
There's no way. No, he's too much of an alien. He can't eat those food.
And it was his Rick and Morty analog, Elon Tusk.
There you go.
Okay. Further on here,
somebody in his company.
Limit 1 per offer. Limit 1 offer per customer.
Oh, okay.
Only 1,000 packages available.
Well, he just used 1,000 different names. It's all the same person.
Yeah.
This is literally, it's made for tech. They wanted to go viral on TikTok is what they wanted.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's what they're marketing. And I don't even have a degree in any of that. And I could have sat on that board and been like, that's the stupidest fucking idea you've ever had.
If they thought it was a great idea, they would have released it on a wide scale.
Yeah.
This just goes to show you they think there's 1,000 people out there who are like, oh, I eat weird shit all the time. I'll try this.
I'll try
That's
it.
what I'm saying. It's the TikTok thing. They were hoping just 1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would go on the TikTok and then blow up to. They were trying to do that. They're trying to do that same stupid TikTok thing, the dances and the cooking and the bullshit. They were trying to go that niche instead of just. They could have done this in 2-packs.
Yeah.
They could have spent $1 million, did this in 2-packs, put it in the stores. I bet you they would have sold more. But no, they want to blow it up on. They want to blow it up on TikTok.
I don't think
They
so.
did the super secret menu. Like that's the whole thing now. Oh look, we only have a little bit. You're gonna want it. It's fucking bad marketing, is what it is.
Well,
Bad.
number one, it's going to get tens and tens of views.
Yes.
Number two,
And it sucks.
number two, if you really wanted to, you could make it yourself by
Yes.
buying a pack of Oreos and a pack of Ritz crackers. And
But the funny part is, many people don't know how to do that anymore. So
you see a bunch of people sitting around a table with like Ritz cracker sandwiches and Oreos, and like,
Okay, so
how did they do that?
put it together? My God.
The guy who does that, everybody else goes, whoa, mind blown.
This is the Neo thing.
Bob, you're top. Like Bob is the man.
Oh shit!
He goes,
Oh shit! What did he do?
He just blew my mind. What the heck just happened? All right, guys. Well, moving
That would
away
happen.
from that. My
That
God, that
probably that has probably happened before we even recorded this.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah, exactly. We go now to another weird and wacky story. New York State is giving out hundreds of robots
Yes.
as companions for the elderly.
Yes.
State of New York will distribute robot companions to the homes of more than 800 older adults. I love this in the article here, written by James Vincent. The scheme, I love that. The scheme is being organized by the New York State Office for the Aging, or NY SOFA. I love that acronym. And is intended to help address the growing problem of social isolation among the elderly.
That sounds corrupt.
14 million Americans over the age of 65 currently live alone. NY SOFA.
Your kids won't visit them?
I guess not. I can't go and knock on someone's door. Who knows? NY SOFA director Greg Olson says the robots, named ElliQ, ELLIQ, was built by Israeli firm Intuition Robotics, could help tackle this growing health problem by encouraging independence among older adults living alone and providing companionship. Apparently this thing is a lamp-like thing that is a tablet that you put in, and it engages you in small talk while also trying to get you to call your relatives or neighbors or whatever to foster companionship among the elderly. Steve, you're huge into iRobot. That was a great movie, by the way. One of Will Smith's rare
Tremendous.
good movies.
Yeah,
But
tremendous.
your thoughts and reaction to this?
Well, I've just had a couple just sitting here while one, initially it did sound like the plot of iRobot, because I remember Will Smith's mother in that movie like had her own robot to help, you know, and that
Cook
leads
and clean and
that-
yeah.
exactly. He did the cooking, everything. She didn't have to lift a finger around the house.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was making muffins out the wazoo
Right,
Like
right. But
two.
that led me
just for herself.
That's right.
She made 100 million.
to wonder whether the lead investor of this company is actually Andrew Cuomo, who wants to continue his war against seniors.
I am right on this, Steve. My next point will help you out with this.
Oh, well, as that, it's like, well, we want to kill more seniors. Let's give them robots. That'll teach them.
That'll show them.
So Matt, go
Yeah.
a little further down the article. There is a place where it says that that they will form to, they basically will form to the personality of the person.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll see if I can find it here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's down a little in the article.
Is this like when dogs look like their owners?
Yes, yeah, literally. That's what it came up to say.
So it said, okay, one of the quotes, it was from the director. Many
Mm-hmm.
features attracted us to ElliQ. That it is a proactive tool, remembers the interactions with the individual, focuses on health and wellness, stress reduction, sleep, hydration, etc. It focuses on what matters to individuals, memories, life validation, interactions with friends and families, and promotes
Social security
overall good
numbers,
Yes.
credit card numbers, PIN numbers.
It promotes overall good health and well-being. Oh yes, and then further on, the claim by the company is that ElliQ can project empathy and form bonds with users. The robot is supposed to remember key details about a user's life, shape its character to their own. It will crack more jokes if the user tends to laugh a lot, for example.
ElliQ became self-aware 2:30 a.m.
So
August
here's my
29th.
thought. Here's my thought when I read that.
Yeah.
What if the user's a prick? That's elder abuse immediately by a robot. Because
Well, maybe.
the robot's not going to give a shit. What if everybody knows when you're frustrated at times. We've all been there when we try to get our robot device. We're trying to get the weather. We're trying to get something, and it's not working well. You're mean to it. That's human nature to be mean to robots. What if someone's consistently mean to their living robot? He's not gonna be nice back.
No.
Because he's going to be programmed to be mean. This is the Andrew Cuomo thing. Cuomo's behind this. He's trying to get robots out to abuse more elderly people.
I love this too. The media reports suggest that the robot can certainly endear itself to people, but the real test will be widespread deployment. You don't say. Case managers will identify individuals. Case managers will identify individuals who might benefit from ElliQ based on a few criteria. Okay, so you want to know the criteria, Johnny? ElliQ is designed for people aged 75 and older who have access.
Who have no idea how to use technology, by the way.
Yes.
That's one problem.
Yes.
Who have access to Wi-Fi. Again, problem with technology.
Yeah.
Are comfortable with tech equipment.
That narrows it down to
I'm
about
seeing a foul ball here.
1%.
So we have 7 people that can get this robot in New York.
And we have who are isolated or lonely. That's the requirement. 75 and older, access to Wi-Fi, comfortable with tech equipment, but yet they're lonely and isolated.
You know, that all seems kind of contradictory to me. If you have an elderly person who's comfortable with technology, they're probably not going to be lonely because they can use their freaking cell phone and call their family.
They already have their Google device.
Why do you need someone to talk to? Yeah, exactly. You can just call.
Why do they need an abusing robot?
Why do we need a fleet of Terminators to go out to the elderly if they don't know how to use them?
Because Cuomo.
Well,
it's all about
Why
it.
have we been trying to erase him?
Mm-hmm.
He's the Sith Lord. He's got to get with it.
Hideous.
There are 800 of these units, guys. Just FYI, that have been
But
purchased.
they only have 6 people to go to, or 7 people to go to.
Price is unknown, by the way. We
Well,
don't
so
know
that'll
how much
be-
this was bought.
Each person will get over 100. That's great.
Yes,
They're gonna-
yes. And
They'll be
what are
filled.
they going to charge? What are they going to charge Medicaid? Like $7,467?
Per.
Probably.
Yeah, and it can't even give them a ride to the doctor when it feels ill.
This is amazing.
But it can empathize with them, John.
Exactly.
That's what's most
Oh,
important.
you feel like shit. Great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're there. They're there.
Whose
Or
voice?
comes
If
out,
it's Cuomo's voice, I want to start a riot. If it's Cuomo's voice on that thing, I'm starting a riot. I really am. Could you
Take the
imagine
bat, just
a
bash it
robot
to death.
talking to someone as condescending as that piece of shit does?
I one time, it used to have, the old GPS units, the Garmin's.
Mhm.
Oh
I
yeah.
had one of those, and I downloaded a new voice for it once.
Mm.
And it was like It was like a horror movie voice. It was like, turn left, turn right, 2 lights ahead. And then one day I'm just sitting at a red light and it goes, have you looked in your trunk recently? I'm like,
What the hell is happening?
Can you imagine one of these things? Like
That's actually awesome.
there's something in your basement. What? Who's in my basement?
Como's behind this.
Oh my gosh. The usual cost to hire the robot. Now get this. $250 upfront fee. $30 minimum service charge. Monthly.
Service charge?
Monthly.
For what?
Monthly.
You know why? For the person sitting behind the desk that's actually writing the empathy code.
Yeah.
And is it listening?
Or the sarcastic code
listening
if you're John. You know,
secretly listening into your conversation and drafting the responses for the robot.
Quick
How about
question.
Go ahead.
Quick question. Why can't we just stick to what we normally have, where you have people that have these jobs, they have their certificates, they can do these things, they can do in-house, you know, they can go and they can help you do things. We have people to do this. Like there's jobs out there for people like this. You don't need a fucking circle with a fucking smiley face.
There are churches that do that. People that will do that in a church for you, or in a synagogue, or a whatever. And it's like
There's also nursing. You can get
nurses and stuff like that. Yeah.
Judgment Day is inevitable.
I love this. A couple of final sentences here. Deploying robots for elderly care is often controversial. You don't say. Advocates say robots are a necessary tool, especially when humans aren't available. But critics warn machines have the potential to dehumanize their users, and their deployment reflects the low value society places on older adults. You don't say.
They have the ability to become self-aware and to terminate all life.
This is no joke. This literally has Cuomo, Kathy Hochul, and Eric Adams written all over it. Like the 3 dumbest human beings that probably have ever existed in New York City.
But as long as they get the votes, Johnny, that's what it's all about.
That's what it sounds like. The funding is going, because they're like, we don't want people to be mad at us because we can't kill them anymore because people are on to us. So we got to keep them at bay so they don't vote against us.
Well, that's the great thing. These robots will actually vote proxy for their seniors that they're taking care of.
Oh yeah, they'll totally vote for the right one, like Cuomo when he wants a rerun.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen, here we go with topic 4, and it's the second, I guess you could say, Two Noobs tournament, Best Philadelphia Athlete. Of course, we had a great time, but 2 episodes back, episode 84, we crowned Brian Dawkins the NovaCare champion. We're going to flash the current Elite 8 on screen. It's just only going to show Brian, but this one is really going to be cool. This one is going to be the Philadelphia Phillies and the Philadelphia Philly bracket, Best Philly.
Yep.
Coming out of there. And this is going to be the Clearwater.
Should clarify that it's not going to be the best Philly. There are 2 brackets for each team.
Correct.
So
yeah,
one
exactly.
of the
that will eventually become the best Philadelphia Philly at the end in the Final 4. That kind of a deal.
Yes.
But yeah, to kind of give you a little bit of a brief recap, how we're running this tournament, we have basically John, Steve, and I basically went through a ranker.com listing, and then we basically resorted and pulled out players that starred in the city for their team from 1983 on and produced in the field. So it could have been like multiple all-star appearances, championships they may have won, MVPs if they were Hall of Famers, stuff like that.
3 years.
How popular they were in the city and with us as well. So all that was kind of mixed together. We debated it back and forth. Came up with a top 16 for each team, and we're doing a tournament to eventually crown the best Philadelphia athlete of the 3 of us.
And as John said, had to be minimum of 3 years of service.
Minimum of 3 years.
3 years of service, right.
The only thing, if there is one, which I don't think there is one, but if there was one that made it, it was because of like multiple MVPs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
people
some
will be
people
higher because they produced more.
Mm-hmm.
Some people who played more than 3 years after 83, but their primes were pre-83,
Mhm.
like they were finishing out their career, we
Yeah.
typically excluded because the end of their
Exactly.
careers weren't very productive typically.
Great
Yeah.
example of that would be a Gary Maddox and a Steve Carlton. I mean,
Yes.
that was the kind of thing that we grew up. Steve Carlton was definitely on the downside of his career, but we left
Yeah.
him off because obviously he was much better in the early 80s. when
Before
we
I was
were-
born.
Before Steve was even born, for crying
We
out loud.
used Steve's birth date exactly.
No,
Put a
83,
stake.
not 81. I was born in
83, yeah.
81.
There
I
you
know.
go.
That's
There you
funny. Just put a stake right there. Like if Steve didn't see you, you're out.
You didn't
Exactly.
exist.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started, guys. What do you say? We go with the first
do it.
round here. So this is of the Clearwater region of the Philadelphia Philly, best Philly bracket.
This is Matt, by the way. This is all Matt. Matt put this whole thing together. All
John-
those wonderful names.
Love it. So, Johnny, let's go ahead and start with you first.
All right, go
We
for
got the number 12 seed Roy Halladay
it. Ooh.
going against the 5 seed Scott Rowland.
Ooh. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Scott Rowland or Roy Halladay.
Man, Scott was good.
This is hard. I mean, because you got probably really
Fans-
one of
fans-
the better third basemen.
Yeah, but the fans didn't like him.
Yeah.
Hindsight, we all like him. But God, if he was on the 08 team,
Oh. We also made the point that if he was on the 09 team, we'd probably win that World Series against the Yankees.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go,
His beef was with ownership.
our beef was with ownership.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is that's what I mean. Hindsight, man, Scott Rowland was a gem to have here.
And then, of course, you got Roy.
I gotta go Roy
Wow.
because of the perfect game and the no hitter.
And the no-hitter in the same year. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go with that because there are two. Like I can tell you maybe a Scott story, maybe two Scott stories, but I'm telling my grandkids about the perfect game and the no hitter in the playoffs.
And where you were and all that.
Exactly. Like I remember exactly where I was.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Wow. Yeah, I remember the no-hitter against the Cincinnati Reds. That was unbelievable. Seems like Cincinnati always gets no-hit. You know, it's
Good.
not like
Good for
no-hit
them.
or they lose no-hitters. It's crazy. But Steve, we're going to go to you. And so we got the 8 seed Bobby Abreu
Ooh,
against
that's
the
a good
9 seed Bryce Harper.
Oh.
Right fielders galore here. Bobby or Bryce?
And we determined, didn't we, that like Bobby was a 300 hitter while he was
Yeah.
with the Phillies, didn't
Yeah.
we? Which is impressive. He famously won that home run derby the one year by like hitting, I think it was a then record number in
Yep.
some round.
And then went to
She
shit.
just kept hitting him, like they just kept going and going, and then he hit like crap the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Just FYI, he batted .303
Yep.
for the Phillies in 9 seasons. Gotta
Yep.
give you an idea.
That's impressive.
195 home runs with 814 RBI. 303 hitter.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But we got Bryce.
But we got Bryce, and I have to push Bryce through because what Bryce is doing is
MVP. Probably
MVP.
probably the best hitter in baseball at this time.
Yeah.
Like it's tough to find somebody that is having these last 2 seasons that he's having.
Yeah, and even his first, I mean, 2020 season obviously was a bit of a bust just because of the length of time, but you know, he had that walk-off grand slam against the Cubs. He's had some monster hits. He's been everything as advertised and
Oh, yeah.
probably better.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have
That's
to
actually
push him
good.
through with a good old John Kruk. Oh my God!
Wasn't that one of the greatest calls ever?
Yes.
I was replaying that today, actually, just hearing
Nice.
that call again. It shocked Kruk. It really did. It shocked him. Completely shocked him.
Can I
Unbelievable.
tell a story that I've told you guys a million times, but I want to tell all the listeners?
Go for it.
So the Bryce Harper for me is one of the greatest things ever. So when I'm not watching a game, or when I'm watching a game, it comes up on Instagram when he hits a home run, and I literally just hold my phone towards my wife, and she goes, "Harper hit another home run." She's a baseball fan, but she's not sitting there watching with me, but she can tell Bryce Harper's home runs to everybody else's home runs.
They sound different.
They just sound different. And she taught me that. And I still do it to this day. It's been 3 years at this point. I still will just hold up the phone, and it's like just that sound.
And boys, thank God for the DH this year, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because he would have been having Tommy John surgery. I don't know if anybody knows that, but
he hasn't
care.
He hasn't stopped playing at his level from last year. He has
No.
not. He just continues to pound
No,
the ball.
you don't need that, but you don't need that portion of your elbow to hit a baseball, apparently.
Nope.
If you're Bryce Harper.
If you're Bryce Harper. Yeah, exactly.
But to throw it at 175 miles an hour into the catcher as a dead strike, you need that.
You need that, yeah. So, Steve, we're going to stay with you in the first round here. We have the 16 seed Jim Thome going against the number 1 seed Michael Jack Schmidt. And if you're going to see, I'm going to put up his photo here on screen alongside Jim Thome. And Michael Jack has the beautiful powder blue Philadelphia Phillies logo. I mean, it is absolutely iconic uniform. Love it. What do you think, Steve? Number 1 seed Mike Schmidt or Jim Thome, the 16 seed?
Well, allow me a minute to just laud Jim Thome, who was the marquee signing in what, 03?
Yeah.
Yep.
Opened Citizens Bank Park.
Toward the ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe hit the
Or the
first home
ballpark
run
with
in
the
Citizens
with
Bank
the hard
Park.
hat. He embraced us just as much as we embraced him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ushered in kind of the new, because we were a place where free agents didn't want to come to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first one, and we didn't want to pay either. That was the other big problem. He was the first one to show, like, all right, we're going to open the checkbook. We're going to bring somebody in here who can change this team. And he did. Wasn't here as long as I had remembered him being.
That's true.
Matter of fact, I thought he was actually kind of on the bubble for cutsies. Just because Ryan Howard supplanted him at first base. But Jim Thome, and great individual, like human being.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Thome.
Absolutely.
All that being said, you do not advance Jim Thome ahead of Mike Schmidt.
No.
Yeah.
So let's just get that out of the way. Mike
Let's just
Schmidt.
get out.
And I would like to just love on Jim Thome for a little bit.
Go for it, John.
When I went across the country in 2012, I had to stop in Cleveland because because that's where he's from. That's where he made his bones. They had a statue of him put in the ballpark. I had to go. I had to take pictures with it. Like, I love Jim Thome a lot. He's not Michael Jack Schmidt, but I had to travel like out of my way driving back home just so I could stop to see that statue, because what a hell of a man Jim Thome is.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Jack, I think, is probably just one of the I mean, I grew up idolizing him.
Everybody remembers the 500th.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody remembers the retirement.
Yep.
He was a better third baseman than he was a hitter.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people, like the young people, don't know about him. He was a damn good third baseman. Look him up.
He was a hell of a hitter. He was a great power hitter for his time back then. Feared hitter back then. So, John, we're going to finish out the first round for you, and we've got the 4 seed Ryan Howard. Big piece.
My boy.
Going up against probably the best Rule 5 draftee the Phillies ever had, 13-seeded Shane Victorino.
2 of my favorite. I've met both of these dudes.
Oh, wow.
I had drinks with both of these dudes. Shane Victorino is probably the nicest human being I've ever met. All of 4'3" of him. He's a tiny man. Which I love Shane. I follow him on Twitter. He loves baseball. Love Shane Victorino.
Just love it. Yeah.
Simply, Big Daddy.
Yeah, the big piece. Yeah.
The piece.
Yeah. The guy that if we don't have him in the lineup, we don't win the World Series. That kind of
If he did what he did in those 6 years, in 12 years,
Yeah.
He's a bona fide Hall of Famer. We
Mhm.
don't talk about anybody else.
Yeah.
He's the greatest Philly of all time. If what he did in those 6 years did in 12 years,
Mhm.
game over.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you could.
Yeah, Big Daddy
with
was
that
my
at
man.
all.
That's
Yeah.
my man.
Love it. All right, so John, staying with you, we're going into the second round here, and this is going to be a very fascinating matchup for you. You've got the 9 seed Bryce Harper
Mhm.
going against Michael Jack. Who comes out of that
Damn,
second round matchup? Bryce?
that's
Me.
tough.
No pressure.
Yeah,
No
that's
pressure.
tough. Like literally,
Yeah.
the
I'm
future.
glad this isn't me.
Yeah, the future of the Phillies and the
past of
the Philly.
Yeah.
Like the Philly. Like they say, he does commentary.
Yeah.
On Sundays.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no. I mean, he's got to play golf. I ain't gonna shit on the man because he's got to play
Yeah.
golf 5 days a week. Like, he paid his bones.
Yeah. So what
He's
are you
not like
thinking?
Trucker where he has to prove himself.
Yeah. I mean,
By
this
the way,
is-
get well wishes to John Crook.
Yes.
Uh,
Love John
is
Kruk.
he
John
like-
Kruk is one of-
Gallbladder out or something
Oh,
like that.
okay. Is that
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
John Kruk's a fucking amazing human being. He should be. There should be a fucking statue for him.
No doubt.
Love John Kruk.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, but so what are you thinking there? But what do you think, Bryce or
I was born in '78.
okay?
What do you want, a cookie?
No, I just want to get like I got in my time I got to see a lot of Schmidt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Stop
There's
dodging the
also
question.
there's also a tattoo
Oh, there you go, Pop.
though,
Yep.
of the '80s.
Yeah, this is hard. Yeah.
Harper's a better player, career-wise,
Okay.
not Philly-wise. I'm just saying.
But-
And Schmidt has said this over and over again. Harper's a better player, but who's a better Philly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Schmitty goes.
Schmitty goes in. Okay.
Schmitty goes.
Yeah.
The better Philly, longer.
Bear
Well,
in
he
mind,
won us
the
a
80
chip.
championship doesn't
He
count.
won us a chip.
That
Harper
doesn't
has
count.
not.
Day,
Doesn't count.
83 on. But yeah,
He
you're
won us
right.
a chip.
Yep.
Doesn't
Yep.
count.
Well, okay, so it doesn't count, but I'll give him. He went to a chip in '83 when it does count. So
True.
he was trying to win us multiple chips.
Championships. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Schmitty. Schmidt, over 500 home runs.
Can't go wrong with that.
Best third baseman
The team has ever had. Yeah.
the team has ever had, and might be top 5 third
Yeah.
baseman ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bona fide Hall of Famer. Like he was.
And Bryce is still, I mean, you know he will be in.
He's a Hall of
Cooperstown,
Famer.
But it's going to take time.
He's the best goddamn thing I've seen in a long time. His career-wise, he's better than Schmidt, but Philly-wise, he's just getting
TBD.
started.
Yeah. Couldn't disagree with you. And so for Steve, closing out the second round, Roy Halladay, the 12 seed, going up against the big piece, Ryan Howard, the 4.
Oh,
Look, this is
Ooh.
not a Barry Zito or Mark Mulder Oakland Athletics jersey here. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Mark McGuire, baby.
Big Mac.
Yeah.
We love the long ball here in Philadelphia. Look, Roy Halladay had an amazing 2 years here,
Mm-hmm.
but his last 2, he kind of fell off a cliff.
yes.
Sure did. Yeah.
Like, and it was the decline. This was not a gradual, you know. This
No.
this was a steep drop in performance.
Yeah.
So yes, the no hitter and the perfect game we'll always talk about, but Ryan Howard was better, longer.
Yes.
And if he doesn't snap his Achilles tendon at the end of the Cardinal series in 2011, maybe we make the playoffs more recently than 2011.
Mhm.
True.
So we're Ryan Howard's going through.
There you go. All right.
Agreed.
Great pick. Can't go wrong with that. All right, gents. Well, this is going to be very interesting. You have for the Clearwater Regional Champion, chip here. You've got Mike Schmidt or Ryan Howard. The 1 versus the 4. So this is going to be very, very interesting as I make my selection here. Who would you pick if you're listening to this as the guys will make their selections? Okay, got one for Steve and still waiting on John. But yeah, it's really, really interesting to see what we got. But surprisingly, I guess, it's a pleasant surprise. Unanimous selection. Michael Jack Schmidt is your Clearwater.
Why is this a surprise?
That's not a surprise.
I think it was only because Ryan Howard was like relatively new, like in terms of our lifetime. We grew up with Ryan Howard. We saw him play his entire career
but
here.
we love Ryan Howard.
We
That's
really
not,
do, yeah.
Putting Mike Schmidt there, and I bet you, sitting Ryan Howard in this commune, he'd be like, "Good choice, guys." Like,
Yeah.
it's not a shot at any of these guys. That's the biggest thing. If Michael Jack's in a bracket, he probably needs to get out of it. Because he was that damn good.
He was that damn good, yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
just to go back around, I mean, John agonized over Harper versus Schmidt. I love Bryce Harper, but he's not getting in over Schmidt at this point in his career.
No, absolutely not. And that's why I went Schmidt, but there were some points I wanted to make because I love Bryce Harper. Like, I love Bryce Harper.
Well, the
How
same
can you
thing
not?
I made about Howard over Halliday in terms of like length. Like Schmidt's career was better longer than Howard's was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? So,
Absolutely.
you know, that to me is a huge.
If Bryce
Exactly.
was a full-time Philly from his
Mm.
rookie year on, he would have ran right through that bracket.
Probably. You could make an argument. He'd be one of the top.
That's
2 or
that's
3
that's
Phillies
what I was
of all
trying to
time.
say with that. Like I think his career was better,
Mhm.
but he wasn't a Philly for that long.
No.
So best Philly. If he's a full-time Philly from 19 or 18 or wherever the fuck he started
Yeah.
till now, like putting on what he's putting on now, Jesus, he's the greatest thing we ever saw.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, guys, great job with this. So we're going to flash up, of course, our Elite 8 bracket here, and of course, joining Brian Dawkins, Mike Schmidt, on the 2 Noobs tournament bracket here. So it's going to be great as we make our way.
Sounds legit.
In a couple weeks, episode 88, spoiler alert, is going to be with the Flyers. So
Oh my God, I'm shocked.
I wonder
what
why.
a shock! I wonder who's going to be in that tournament. I have no
Oh
idea.
my God. I
No
don't even know
clue
who's coming out of it.
whatsoever. So stay tuned for that. It should be a lot of fun, that's for sure. And so with that, guys, episode 86 of 2 Noobs Talking comes to a close. Once again, gents, wonderful to be able to spend
We
some
did it.
time with you and talk. Yeah. So it's our shameless plugs, as it always is. John, where can people find us?
On TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Clapper.
Are you reading a script, Mr.
No,
Tracy?
I don't know. I just did that off the top of my head. I don't even remember half of them. What I do is Steve posts on Facebook. I steal those videos and I put them on other social medias because Steve just has a way with words and he's way smarter than me. So
Social media
I
man.
just jump off of him. And then we put videos out to draw us to our
Yeah, that's our main YouTube channel, the 2 Noobs Talking Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, get notified when our new episodes appear. They appear Wednesday at 7 local time, Eastern.
Sometimes.
Yes,
Sometimes,
unless-
pending technical difficulties.
unless Zoom fucks us. I'm just gonna say.
Exactly.
Uh,
On the audio side, Steve, where can people listen to us?
On the audio side, we collaborate with Podbean, like an Oreo cookie and a Ritz cracker.
no, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
And Podbean puts us out through all sorts of different audio channels, such as Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. Matt's
Thanks,
fat
Len.
fingers in front of the camera. Crap, now I lost my train of thought. Spotify is one.
Yeah.
They suck.
Spotify reminds me of sushi and peanut butter and jelly
Yes,
slapped together
Yeah.
with
Yes, you're
melted
absolutely right.
cheese.
Yeah.
Amazon Music was the other one I was forgetting.
There you go. Awesome. Our show notes, of course, are found 2noobstalking at WordPress.com. You can check us out with all the links to our articles that we reference in every episode. They will appear there. My thanks to John and my thanks to Steve for joining me tonight on Two Noobs Talking. It's on to 87, guys. It's a Donald Brashear episode. There you go, baby. Until then, talk to you all next week. Take care.
First 6 listeners get sushi and PB&J.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed. That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be truly informed.